Can you explain peeling? I don't know this term. Yes. Peeling is when your carry is getting dove by, like, say an Akali, and you're playing something like something with CC like a Leona. You want to, instead of using your skills to like try and kill their carry, instead of doing that, you want to save your skills to use it when your carry is being dove or being attacked by anything, and then just peeling for your AD carry, pretty much. That's what peeling is. Where are the rotations? We don't have to worry about rotations. For like this is not LCS level play. You don't have to worry about rotations. Is it true that zoning is better in some cases than killing? No. Killing is almost always better. If you can get the kill, it's almost always worth. Unless, like, if you can get the kill for free, that's if you don't die or if you don't lose like 5 waves at tower. If you miss 5 waves at tower, that's probably bad. So let's go with teamwork. Teamwork. Turn music off? Sure. Let me lower the music completely. Actually, let's just turn it off. Teamwork. Synergy. Alright, what would be under teamwork / synergy, guys? Turn off music? Yeah, I'll turn it off. I turn off music. Communication. That's a big one. Chaining CC. Chaining CC. Knowing when to group. Grouping for objectives. Okay. Grouping for objectives. Well, we'll just put it all under objectives. Rotations. Proper pinging. Following up. Initiating. Team composition. Split pushing. Condoms. We have rotations. You know, communication is the big one. It really is the big one. Attitude. I don't know. Well, I don't think that's under attitude. Under teamwork and synergy. Attitude isn't under teamwork / synergy. Jesus Christ, man. This is Professor Chaox's stream. Welcome, welcome. Play means important. Invades. Invades isn't like. Vision control is also not part of this. This is under teamwork. Shot calling. There we go. Shot calling. Can you teach me how to open League? Put this on Reddit, please. There's static noise when I talk? You know what? Let's just keep the music slightly. I think we covered just about everything. The biggest one is communication by far. Vision control. Sure. Focusing. Team fight focusing. Team fights. I think we got just about everything. So, the biggest one is communication, and I can't stress it enough, honestly. Like everything, just like how positioning, in my opinion, is the pinnacle of mechanics, I think communication is the pinnacle. You need to be able to, communicate with a team to group, which is everything. Like, just tell your team your cooldowns, your CDs, grouping, objectives, like splitting. Just tell your team what you need, Tell your team exactly what you need and how you should win. How to win. It doesn't end there. Communication is like, if you have a rager on your team, calming the ragers down is really important. It's really hard to type while playing. I know. So you can communication is like with pings. You can do it with typing pings. Well, actually, that's all you can do. Of course, it's better if you're on a TeamSpeak or Vent or something like that, where you can actually talk with your team. If you know certain people in Elo, they'll just get. I know the way you word things is also really important. You can't just be like and ask them, be like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck, man? Come gank my lane," Saying instead of "Yo, come gank my lane." After after dying in lane, be like, I need pressure early on to play aggro. There's efficient communication is like clutch. There's always ways to do it better. Oh, I have item usage here. It's just a very obvious one. Yeah, we'll put morale here as well. So with morale, it's like, there's so many times where your team is just so shitty on morale. This is a team game after all. So you're like, well, you want to keep the spirits high because that'll give you the best chances of winning. Like if your team is just like, well, fuck this, we already lost. Like surrender at 20 minutes, you actually just straight up increases your chance of losing by like a few percentages. Even though you're just like slightly behind it, you just need like one team fight, or your team completely outscales theirs, and you just need to get into late game to get into when the team fights will go in your favor. Like keeping your morale high, keeping yourself, stay positive. Like I can't. If you see yourself tilting, just take a break. Oh, and your in-game body language, right? Right. That's another way to communicate. Like when I lane with supports, if I'm all the way ahead, like if the creeps are here, right, and they're fighting here, these are my creeps and this is their creeps, and I'm all the way here, like just zoning them. I'm expecting my support to be right next to me, right? So the way you position yourself is also a huge tell in what you want to do. It feels like the improvements that you can make personally in teamwork and synergy has so little impact in solo queue though. No, it has so much. If you can stay positive, even when your team is raging, you'd be surprised how many games you can win. If you can stay positive, play your best, and get your team to play like better than they would have otherwise, you'd win so many more games. So with chaining CC, it's like well, this is pretty much very simple. Don't overlap CC. Like if you have a target that you have to kill late game, say a Vayne, and you have a decent amount of CC on it, like you have maybe a Nocturne Dive, a Leona, or the most basic one, a Malphite plus Leona. Pretty much use all, and they have like a Mikhail's, so they can get out of Leona, but then the Malphite will follow up and get the kill. What you don't want to do is like have Malphite and Leona use all the shit on main at the start, and then having the support Mikhail's it off, right? So that is like, and you want to communicate that too. Like chaining CC, like everything is under communication. So if you want to chain CC on a Vayne, just be like, all right, you Malphite, use your shit first, and then I'll follow up, or Malphite, follow up after me. Like let me blow the Mikhail's with my Leona ult first before you go in. Objectives. This is another really, really big one. Objectives is like, I mean, this is what the game is about. Objectives is pretty much grouping with your team. So just say grouping. Grouping. Like there's really nothing else to be said for this. You need to be grouping for towers, you need to be grouping for dragons. And again, all that is just under shot calling too. Like shot calling, communication. This is just another really obvious one. It's really obvious on paper, but when you're actually doing it, it's not as easy. It's like knowing when to group for objectives. Because if you do it too early, if it's like 6 minutes in and you're trying to like group up for dragon, you're just gonna get aced. So this is like kind of experience. So we can't really go into that in detail. Rotations, like knowing when to cover lanes, knowing when to cover a lane. That is not your own. Say I'm like bottom and I'm farming, and then my top laner TP's down and we make a play. We get a double kill bot, but I'm super low and I can't really stay for dragon. So I'm actually just gonna TP back and just run top to cover top, so we don't lose the top tower. This is like one of the most basic forms of a rotation. You know, top TP down, make play, get dragon, I cover top. So we lose a bit of HP on tower, maybe a few creeps, but we get kills bottom and a dragon. So that trade is really in our favor. So that's like one of the most basic rotations. And of course it gets way more complicated when both teams have TP, both teams have like these tools to engage, and you're fighting over the smallest advantages in a competitive game. A lot of players don't like being what to do though. I mean, it's shot calling isn't really, it might just be pinging. It might just be like just pinging Dragon after a team fight. You know, that in itself is shot calling. It's a call to do Dragon. Like, it doesn't, you don't have to be like, you don't have to type like, okay, you guys do this, I do that, alright, okay. You don't have to do that. Like, something as simple as a ping could be a call. Can I do a straw poll to see the divisions on the stream? Alright, let me see. Are people gonna lie? Yeah, people are gonna lie. Alright, let's straw poll this shit. What division are you? Bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond. I'm not even gonna do challenger. And we'll do proper pinging under shot calling, following up, and initiating. These are huge, and they're pretty obvious, right? Like, this is all comes down to experience. This all comes down to experience, knowing when to follow up and knowing when to initiate. And it comes down to really awareness and positioning under mechanics. All depends on awareness and positioning. So I'm actually gonna put it here. Following up, initiating, instead of putting it here. Team composition. How does your team work together? Team composition is a really big one for under teamwork. Say you have one of the like easiest synergies that you, Caitlyn Nidalee. What are your goals with this team? Your goal is to group 5 and siege, right? If you have something like, if you have a team of assassins or a strong split pusher, like Tryndamere, what do you want with Tryndamere? You want wave clear mid as 4, Trynd split, deep wards, right? This is all like, how does your 5 synergize together? And it becomes even more complex if you consider the enemy 5 champions and how your 5 champions is supposed to interact with their 5 champions. Because not every game will you group 5 and siege with Caitlyn Nidalee, because sometimes you will have a Tryndamere top, and they have really good engage. Say Malphite, Leona, and something like and a Vi. If they have Malphite, Leona, and a Vi, and you group mid with Nidalee Kate, you're just gonna get your shit pushed in. You're just gonna get fucked. So you're gonna have to use your Tryndamere to split push instead. You know. So not every game is just so black and white. Most people are silver and gold. Not many bronze, some diamond and plat. So split pushing is actually covered in team composition. Shot calling with pings, keeping your team focused on your win condition. That's that's literally what shot calling is. Keeping your team focused on your win conditions. With pings, you know, or typing, or words. Keep your team focused on dragons, towers, when to group. Say if you're playing with a team with Caitlyn Nidalee, you need to constantly remind your team, we need to group and siege. Like that's our win condition. So we need to keep that at a forefront of our thoughts at all times. We can't just like start spreading out and dicking around. Shot calling is also like, you know, who to focus in fights. When to do dragon, when to group. It's impossible to do all of this in solo queue? Of course it is. It's of course possible to do this in solo queue. I love swinging my dick around though. Vision control is not really... This is like just item usage, honestly, under mechanics. But... And more of a strategic thing. So let's just kill this. So in team fights... Honestly, team fighting is more of a annoying cooldowns of your team. Like, team fighting is definitely under teamwork, but it's more of like a under a win conditioning and under team composition. Like sometimes you don't even want to team fight depending on your team comp, and you just want to poke. It really is under team composition. Like how you team fight, or if you do team fight at all, is under team composition. Like specials on team curse. Oh shit. What the hell? That was like, I got on Twitch really fast. What the fuck? What the fuck? Where's X Specials news? Ottawa Mega Thread, Sheep, found a team, Oswald E plays going to NA. Wait, where's X Special? What? That got voted up really fast. Yeah, I'd be happy joining a team. I'd be happy. Joining LCS would be fun. It would be fun to do, honestly. When somebody does a bad call and you know it, but all the team follow it, should you follow too and try to make it work? Or let them die if you don't want to avoid the call? Baron throw. If it's a Baron throw, and you know it's a Baron throw, try in all, like, try as hard as you can to stop the Baron call. Alright. 3,